Hiya, happy 1st of July and welcome to my Camp Nano vlog. Am I actually properly participating in camp this month? No. Am I still going to film my regular monthly writing vlog and brand it as a camp vlog? Yes, that's what we're doing here. But in the spirit of camp, I do want to set myself a writing goal, and I've decided to make it a time-based goal. For the past couple of weeks, I've been averaging about 4 hours of writing a week, which really isn't very much, and I would really like to increase that. So I am going to attempt to write for 6 hours a week. So that's 6 times 4.5 weeks, which makes 27 hours. I think I want to round that up to 30. As usual, this is going to be a combined art and writing vlog, except that the art challenge that I'm doing this month is currently being filmed as a separate video. So only art that I do outside of that art challenge will be part of this one. I do have a separate art project that I'm working on that I am excited to share with you soon though. That will be part of this video. And on top of the already kinda starting to regret it 30-hour goal, I also have a progress goal. So my last monthly writing vlog was filmed in May. I was really behind in editing, which means that I took June off vlogging, but I did still continue writing throughout the month. I did not take a break from writing. So how much further have I gotten in my outline since my last monthly vlog? Well, this is my outline at the end of May, at the end of my last video. And this is my outline 1 month later. That's not an editing mistake, it is the same graph. So, as an absolute minimum, my goal for camp is going to be finishing Act 2, because I have 3 chapters left and they're all almost done. And maybe I can actually get some progress into Act 3, we'll see how it goes. I have been working on these 3 chapters for literally 2 months at this point, so... But yes, I am currently doing my camp-only Thursday stream with friends, and I have a minute and a half left. But for the rest of the stream, I want to work on chapter 3 out of the 3 missing chapters. I got some really lovely feedback from my boyfriend earlier today, which I really want to see if I can implement that and maybe actually finish the chapter. Probably not today, but maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Maybe? It feels like I'm really close, but it's been feeling like that for 2 months. And I really gotta get back to the stream now. See you soon. I finished my chapter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I've been working on this chapter since May.
Wow.
I'm so happy. I'm gonna have to do another sanity check tomorrow to make sure that all of the new bits actually fit okay, but like, I think it's done. yeah, it is Thursday today. I am currently co-hosting for the lovely Violet, and I figured it'd be efficient to do my vlogging at the same time as I do my streams, because then I only have to set up the background and do my hair once instead of twice. So you know the stream a week ago where I said I finished the chapter I was working on? I lied. I let my boyfriend read it, and predictably he tore it to shreds, and then I rewrote it and then showed him again, and I'm now rewriting it again. It's fine. But yeah, we're a full week into the month and I'm still working on the same chapter that I was at the start of the month. Bit behind schedule there. In terms of my actual goal, that was the 30 hours. While I was setting up my bullet journal, I realized that 30 hours in a 31-day month is 1 hour per day, which is 7 hours a week and not 6 hours a week. So I'm not sure how I messed my maths up quite that badly, but it's already part of my bullet journal spread, so now I'm writing for 7 hours a week, apparently. I actually don't think that I'm that far behind. I need to move my time tracking hours into my actual spread so I can count, but I think I'm doing okay. However, the only reason I am doing okay is because since July started, I have not done any video editing, and I have not done any work on either of my 2 art projects that I have ongoing at the minute. So that's not quite the balance that I'm looking for this month. I do still want to do other things as well as writing, so I am going to fall behind inevitably. And on the topic of art projects, there is one project that I've been really itching to get back to. I can't do it during the stream because I think StreamYard, Critter and OBS running at the same time would give my laptop a heart attack. But I'm gonna go back to this tomorrow and then I can show you the footage. I have been working on some fan art for Blood Like Magic, which I'm super excited about. I've been wanting to do fan art for books for a while. So for the past 6-7 books that I've read, I've gotten into the habit of highlighting all of the character descriptions that I find. I read on Kindle, so that makes that really easy, because I could never highlight an actual physical book, just saying. But I've been a little bit intimidated by the concept, because I have done fan art before for like games and movies, but never for something that's a book where I'm drawing something purely from description. My comfort zone with drawing is literally just copying photos. Anything other than that is too hard for me at this point. And I do want to stretch that comfort zone, so like I do want to try this. I think it's a fun little thing to practice with. But it's also very difficult and scary, which is why I didn't actually film the start of this. Also because I forgot, but also because I was scared of it. But yeah, I think at this point it's going kinda okay enough, so I do want to show you my progress from here, I guess. So I've sketched in the first 3 characters already, although they're still gonna need some shading and detailing and that sort of thing. And I have 2 characters that I've got some very rough sketches just to indicate where I want to draw them, but I still need to figure out what they look like and add like the actual drawing of them. I'm really excited to work on Kesha, who I want to work on first, because I've got very accurate outfit descriptions for her. I did need to go and ask my sister what a tank top was and how you wear a tank top with a pencil skirt, because I've got no idea what either of those terms mean. So that's something I learned recently, and now I've kind of figured out what she looks like, so I want to draw her. I've got no idea what her twin looks like, because the only clothing description that I seem to have gotten is like a coat she's wearing, and that's it. And that's more likely to be my fault for missing it, especially if I was really into the story and I forgot to highlight it. But going through the entire book just to find some clothing for her is too difficult, so I'm gonna be like mostly improvising, and I'm a little bit scared, but hopefully it'll be fine. And I'm really excited to also go back into the characters that I've done and add in some details. I left them fairly plain to begin with because it's just like I want to mess with the composition a bit more and maybe move things around and make sure that everything works well together before I go in and add anything on top. But for yes, definitely gonna be wearing a banana print dress, and I am so excited to draw some bananas on her dress. But for now, I am going to try and actually write for the rest of this writing stream, so wish me luck. We are interrupting your scheduled painting time lapse for a writing update. I finished my chapter. It's the 12th of July, meaning that we're very nearly at the halfway point of camp, and in terms of my actual progress goals, I'm about 1/9 of the way there. But I finished my chapter and it's a win, and I'm gonna take it. I have another 2 chapters left to go in Act 2 before I can actually move on, and also when I finish those chapters I will be doing another reread of part 6 just so I know where I am before I start plotting out part 7. But this is actual quantifiable progress on my novel. I was planning on changing back to drawing after this. I even put my pen on charge beforehand, But I'm actually really excited about my book right now, so I think I'm just gonna jump straight into the next chapter, keep the momentum going. I think both chapters I have left in this part are very nearly done. I know at least last time I read them, each of them had one major problem I needed to fix, but only like a couple of paragraphs that need rewriting. I don't have to start the whole thing from scratch. I think. I haven't looked at them in a while, so knowing me, I might just decide I no longer like them and start again, but I don't think so. They've both had quite a lot of work behind them. So I'm gonna update my progress in here, and then we're on to the next chapter. Finished my fan art piece, and I am so happy that I finished it. It's been a little bit up and down. On the one hand, I really enjoyed the challenge. It was really outside my comfort zone, and it was fun to push myself to do something like this. But on the other hand, it was also incredibly anxiety-inducing because I knew that Lucille was probably going to see it, which made me really scared because what if the characters don't correspond to her vision of them? And yeah, it was just a little bit scary. I also seem to have allowed my perfectionism to run completely wild on this one. It was supposed to be a quick thing for fun. It ended up taking, I think, over 20 hours at this point. But this weekend I decided I was gonna put my foot down. No more fiddling with it, no perfectionism, no changing tiny details that you can barely see on Instagram anyway. And I was gonna finish it, and I set myself a time limit of 2 hours per character, and I was not allowed to go anything above that, and I finished it, and I'm really happy. It did end up spilling over into Monday a little bit, but I still finished it. It's okay, I'm gonna give myself that. And I'm really happy with how she reacted to it. Like, there was no way that she was gonna say, oh, this character doesn't look exactly like it did in my head, so you're wrong and I hate this. Like, why would anyone say that? That's just stupid. I should not be thinking like that. But yeah, I'm glad that I finished it and that I pushed myself, because I did want to quit a couple of times while I was working on it, and I'm glad that I persevered, and I'm really proud of myself. The other thing that I finished this weekend is Act 2 of my novel, which is insane because I've been working on Act 2 for the entirety of 2021. I know most people do not need 7 months to write Act 2 of something, but clearly I do. I am feeling a little bit hesitant about saying that I finished it, because technically there's one chapter that Matt hasn't read yet, and I know that I shouldn't need his approval of my chapter before I can move on. Like, this is my book, and he is a fantastic critique partner, but it's still my book. But I'm still feeling low confidence about it, and like I shouldn't be moving on because he hasn't told me whether it's good or not yet. And I think it's good. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I did tweak it a lot. Like I've spent a long time on this, and I think it's not terrible at the very least. I'll probably need more revisions when I go back through this. But we're moving into Act 3 tomorrow. Or today. The thing that I want to do next, just because I've been stuck on these 3 chapters for literally over 2 months now, is I want to go back through not the entirety of Act 2, but just through Part 6. I have 4 point of view characters, which means that there's 1 point of view character that I haven't touched in over 2 months. It's actually been longer than that because he was unconscious for a while, so I haven't touched him in quite a long time. So hopefully I haven't forgotten how to write him. I'm scared. It's actually past my bedtime already, in theory, but since it's literally 30 degrees, I am not going to bed right now. I've been staying up later and later just because it's far too hot to sleep. And I'm so sleep deprived right now. But yeah, I haven't actually done any writing today yet because I really wanted to finish the FanArt today and just post it and get it out of my brain and stop stressing about it. So I think I should have enough time to do at least my 1 hour of writing per day before I go to bed. I have fallen behind on my time goal a little bit. I think I'm 5 hours behind at this point. It's not terrible, but it could be better. But I think now I've finished the FanArt and I'm not going to jump straight into my other art project. I think I'm gonna wait until the weekend before I go back to it, so I should have some time to catch up this week. Also, rereading all of Part 6 and plotting out Part 7 is gonna be so much fun. I haven't done any like new plotting or new scenes in so long. I'm so excited and looking forward to it, so I'm sure that like my excitement of this will make me want to work more hours than I have been, and I'll catch up with my time goal in no time. Hiya, happy Thursday. I am in the middle of my stream with the Chaos Queens, which is a brand new name, and I'm so excited that we have a name now. I finished my reread of Part 6 and actually went back to some of Part 5 as well and read through that. I am very glad that I did this because there were some characters that have injuries that I'd forgotten about, and a couple of nuisances and other bits that I really needed to bear in mind for the next bit that I've been working on these 3 chapters for so long, I've just forgotten the entire rest of my story. And then last night I started outlining Part 7, which I'm still a little bit up in the air about. I haven't quite decided how many chapters I'm gonna have, and there's some bits that I'm not sure about. I think I've got 5 chapters that I'm fairly set on, and then 3 chapters that are like question mark chapters. I feel like they're needed for pacing reasons, but I'm not actually entirely sure on what to put in them, so I might end up scratching them or combining bits or moving things around to make things work a little bit better. So I want to sit on this outline for a little bit longer and think about it a bit more, but chapter 1 and Act 3 I have figured out pretty well, and I know more or less what I want to do with it, so I'm going to start drafting that today. And I am so excited. Also, in terms of my hourly goal, I've fallen behind quite a bit. I was 7 hours behind yesterday, but I managed to catch up a bit. It's only 6 hours behind now. We are basically at the very end of the heatwave at the minute, so I am hoping that things will cool down a little bit. And by the weekend, it will be cold enough that I can actually work with reasonable focus and without needing 5 showers a day during the day, and then I might actually be able to catch up a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to my stream and get to some writing. Yeah, happy Sunday. I just tried to set up my camera for vlogging in my usual spot, and I think I might have broken my tripod. I think it just needs to be tightened up a bit, but I cannot be bothered searching for a screwdriver right now, so we're vlogging over here. This is kind of really uncomfortable though, but it's fine. God. I actually had a really good writing day yesterday and just a really productive day overall. I think I time tracked over 7 hours throughout the day, which I haven't done in quite a while, even on a weekend, so I'm really happy with this. I think part of it was the fact that we've been on a heat wave for so long and I haven't been able to work as much as I wanted to, just because it's been far too hot to do anything. And now it's been rainy and like the heat wave is over, just all of the motivation that I've been building up for the past week and a half just came at me all in one go, and I spent all day doing stuff and it was brilliant. I had so much fun. I actually managed to film and edit the entirety of Wednesday's video all in one day, which is very unusual for me. And I also spent, I think, just under 3 hours writing, so I'm slowly catching up on that time goal. I actually managed to get started on Act 3 on Thursday, and I've been working on that first chapter in Act 3 for Thursday, Friday, and some of yesterday on Saturday. I'm actually a little bit stuck on that one. It's not going as well as I wanted to. I think the main problem is that I'm a bit stuck on Ryan's character arc and I can't really figure out which direction I want him to go in. So I've got like a vague idea, but I'm stuck on some of the details. And for the current chapter, while I really like each of the little snippets of character individually, when you put them together, they feel like it's 3 different people. So I need to figure out which direction. So I need to figure out exactly what direction I want to take it in and keep the bits that reflect that direction and get rid of everything else. The chapter is also far too long as it is, to be honest. I'm just really bad at cutting stuff and making decisions, basically. So I had a bunch of brainstorming sessions yesterday, and while I haven't quite figured out what direction I want to take it in, I do have a list of pros and cons and like all the different possibilities. So I'm hoping if I just like let it sit and sleep on it, I'll naturally figure out which one I want to go in. Alternatively, when my boyfriend's done with deadlines, I can just ask him for his opinion because I am unable to decide things by myself. So normally, because I'm stuck on this chapter, I would leave it at that, but I have this 30-hour time goal and this is my last full weekend to catch up, so I actually pushed myself to move on to the next chapter. And I actually think I finished this chapter yesterday. It went really well. I went back to my outline and brainstormed a little bit. I think I figured out that I want 6 chapters instead of 8. I reserved the right to change my mind on this, but I basically worked on all of Lisa's chapters, so I figured out that second chapter, which I think is basically done, but I do want feedback on it. I've written the 4th chapter, which I think needs minor revisions plus feedback, and I've brainstormed the 6th chapter. So yeah, that was a really productive writing day. Some of that did happen this morning, it wasn't all yesterday. But I'm really happy with the progress I've made over this weekend. I am currently still a bit behind. I am 4 hours behind, so I have caught up a little. I might get back to writing and try and work on that 6th chapter in the evening, but while there's plenty of light, I actually want to go back to my art project that I haven't worked on in a while. This was my last attempt at working on that project, and as you can see, I never continued it. So it's been a month. Let's move on with day 2. Yeah, happy Friday. As I was doing my ticky thing in my bullet journal just now, I realized I don't actually have that much to talk about since last time, because apparently I've only managed an hour and a half since my update on Sunday. But that's okay. I've been feeling a bit under the weather today. I had a really bad allergy flare-up, so the chances of writing today are basically 0, especially because I'm streaming with Michael in half an hour and we're doing riddles, so like I can't write and do riddles at the same time. That's just not gonna work. So technically I have to do 8 hours to meet my 30-hour goal, and tomorrow is the last day. Clearly that's not gonna happen because I basically only have tomorrow, and we're also going to visit some family on Sunday, so I'm gonna have a bunch of other things to do, like I need to pack, I need to make sure everything's clean before we leave. So 30 hours isn't gonna happen. I have a revised goal of 25 hours, which I'd still like to meet. I think 3 hours tomorrow isn't that impossible. Considering it's Saturday, I think I should be able to do that. So that's what we're aiming for. The other thing that I almost forgot to mention, I actually finished my cross-stitching project during the Troublemaker stream earlier. So apparently you're supposed to put this in water for 3 to 4 hours, and then I think these lines and like those numbers at the top are supposed to disappear. So I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, but I'm gonna try doing that. Hi, yeah, it is Sunday today. It's the 1st of August, and we have officially completed camp. I was going to wrap the video up in July, but of course I was writing until 11:30 last night. I did not reach my 30-hour time goal. I did, however, reach my 24-hour modified time goal, and I just want to give a massive shout out to Wallis and Davaisha for actually making me reach that time goal. I had that really bad allergy flare up on Friday morning and then felt better in the evening. But then apparently my body disagreed with me in that I felt better in the evening, and I slept all the way until 10 a.m, which is really unusual for me, so I already woke up like, oh, the day's basically over, there's no point starting to work on anything now, like I've already failed. So I proceeded to have a nap at 11 a.m, and then a second nap at 4 p.m. And then around 9 p.m. or something, Wallace said in the Discord that she had not completed her camp goal yet and she was gonna be sprinting until she did. But I said, okay, maybe I'll join and then like I'll at least fail by a little bit less, right? But again, was not planning on actually reaching my goal. Like I gave up the second I woke up yesterday morning. But of course, when I told her how close I was, she decided that we were gonna continue sprinting until I reached my goal. So I did it. I won camp. This was my first time participating in camp. Not that I was, because I still haven't actually used the website or done anything. But technically, I was taking a look at my time stats because I felt like 25 hours wasn't that much more than I normally would do anyway. But I actually went back a couple of months, and I think on average I've only been doing 15 hours per month. So I've done 10 hours more than I usually would, which is a lot, and I'm really pleased about it. I am not sure that I would want to do time goals on a regular basis. I did feel like at times I was pushing myself to write when I was tired, I wasn't really into it, just to hit that time. But I did do a lot more than I normally would in a month because I had this time goal and because I was pushing myself to work on it even when I didn't feel like it. I'm not sure this is something that I should be doing in the long term though, because I have far too many experiences of hobbies turning into something that I don't enjoy anymore if I push them too hard. And I'm really trying not to do that with writing. And the other thing is, if you look at my actual time stats for the month, even though I was writing more, I wasn't working for more because I only have so many hours in the day, like I'm already basically pushing myself to the maximum. So I had to take out time from other things. Part of the way I do that was not editing this video as I go, but leaving it all till the last minute. We'll see how that goes now that the video is finishing. And more importantly, I've barely been drawing this month. I did do that FanArt, but most of that I had actually done in June already, so I only spent about 10 hours on that this month. I don't think it's bad that I did this for 1 month because it gave me a bit of a push into Act 3, which I definitely needed if you've been seeing any of my previous videos. But yeah, if I set myself any more time goals in the future, it'll be probably less than 25 hours and we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of really excited to jump into some art projects now just because I've barely touched my sketchbook all month. But first of all, I am going on holidays in about an hour. Feel free to let me know how camp went for you, if you reached your goal or didn't, or maybe reached a modified goal like I did. But yeah, I hope that you had a lovely month. I will be running off now to enjoy my holiday, but I will see you soon. Goodbye.